Hi, Jerry. Hope you're keeping dry and warm today. What a day. Hi, Jerry. Hope you're keeping dry and warm today. What a day. Alrighty, gonna get started. Hello and welcome to Monday Night Facebook. And I am Barbara Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and I welcome you to this online Facebook Live. And tonight I'm continuing my series on Halloween projects. And I'm doing the 4 weeks of Halloween. And last week, if you were watching, I did the square bottomed little pouch, little treat pouch, and I did this tutorial last Monday night. And if you were not able to see that tutorial, if you go to my blog at thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com, you can find the blog post about this project, and on that blog post is the YouTube recording of that Facebook Live. There's also a PDF there that you can download and with all the instructions and everything. So this was last week, and today we are going to be working on the Foldover treat bag. Okay, and yes, yes, Jerry, I love the frogs as well. So this paper is from the Toil and Trouble Designer Series paper, same as we used last time. Such cute paper. Let me grab some over here and show you some of the adorable little prints. We have a really cute little purple stripe, and then we have some ghosts, and of course we have the frogs that we're going to be using this evening. And we have the cute little, look at these little cats. Aren't they so cute? I love the cats. And then, of course, we have the witches. And remember, many of the images on the Designer Series paper, you can cut out using the framelits. So, like, for example, last week I used the witches. Now, here's the witches' hats. Here's the witches' hats DSP. And I used the framelit. Here's a framelit from the framelit set. And I could cut out as many of the witches' hats that I needed to make my little treat pouches. So these framelits that match up with the paper are awesome. That's something new that Stampin' Up's just doing. We also have one that matches the witch and the cat. So it's just really, really great. Let me see if there's other. This one's really cute too. I haven't done anything. This piece is actually still whole. This piece has little brooms on it. I think that's just so cute. Just so many great prints. Look at that. If you're not really into Halloween that much and still would like to make some treat pouches, you can just use the plain pumpkins for that. So Stampin' Up thinks about everybody for when they're designing their paper. So this is the paper in the Toil and Trouble Designer Series paper. And they're 12 by 12 pieces. All right, so let's get those back in there and we'll get started today. All right, let me give you a peek in the catalog at the entire suite. Okay, this is the new Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. And if you don't have one, please contact me. Put something in the comments and I would be glad to get you one in your hot little hands. Let me go ahead and show you. Here it is. This is the Toil and Trouble suite. Okay, so cute. It has a little stamp set here, and tonight we're going to be using the Bubble Toil and Trouble sentiment and the little frog. Oh my gosh, so cute, the little frog. And then we're going to use these little stars and popping bubbles or whatever those are there as well. Okay, so tonight we're going to be using the blends to color in our images instead of cutting them out of the paper. So I'm excited to show you the blends, and it's one of the new sets of blends in the Granny Apple Green. And of course it comes with the framelits, which I showed you before. And then here's the gorgeous paper, all the cute little images on those papers. Such fun for making little treats and things for your Halloween trick-or-treaters or coworkers, whoever you like to give treats to around Halloween. So just lots and lots and lots to look for. If you have your catalog, it's on page 48 and 49 in your catalog. All right, well, let's get started. Here's our fold-over treat bag for this evening. Okay, and you can see right here on my little banner on the front, I put the little frog and the bubble toil and trouble. And I stamped this in the Granny Apple Green, but here I used my blends to color in my frog, and I'll show you how I did that. It's such fun to use those blends. All right, let's put this aside for now, and let's get started. All right, I'm so excited to get started because this might be my favorite paper in the entire pack of Designer Series paper. Just look at those frogs. Are they not adorable? Oh, I've always been a frog lover, but these little frogs are just too cute. All right, now, the paper that you're going to start with, the piece is going to be 9.5 by 6 inches. Okay, don't worry about writing down any of these dimensions. All this will be on my blog, and there will be a PDF that you can download. So, welcome, Dickie. Nice to see you. And so we're starting off with a paper that is, again, 9.5 by 6. All right, we're going to grab our scoring tool. And on the short side, which is the 6-inch side, okay, we're going to score first. And we're going to score at 1 inch and 5 inches. Okay, and that's all we need on that short side. Now on our long side, our 9.5-inch side, we're going to score at 1.5, 5 inches, and 6 inches. All right, and that's all for that side. We've got 1.5, 5, and 6. All right, let's take that away. Now I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to crease all the score marks we made. Okay, the bone folder makes it very quick and easy to make your creases nice and even. And also helps you get that box together nice and quickly as well. Not a whole lot of scoring or creasing to do. Oops, got to forget that one. All right, we're all creased and scored and ready to go. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and holding our paper in the landscape position, let's say landscape, we're going to cut up on all those score lines along the bottom, and we're just going to cut them up to the first horizontal score line. Okay, so we go vertical score lines up to the first horizontal. Then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, there and there. With this lighting, it's a little hard to see them. Okay, so I've got these two little flaps here, and then I've got this section up here. And as your pouch comes together, you're going to notice that up here there is a little flap that is 1.5 inches wide. Okay, this is going to be the flap over. Here, if you look here at my finished product, it's going to be this little flap that flaps over your box. So we do not need these two sections on the end. So I'm going to cut those off. Okay, we're going to cut that one off. And that one. Put those away. Okay, so this is what our template looks like now. Okay, we have those pieces totally cut out, and then we have our two little flaps here, and we're ready to assemble already. Okay, so let's turn it over. And we're going to put our tear and tape on our project. Now, the Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape is a great adhesive that I use whenever I'm putting together any boxes. And when I'm making boxes for trick-or-treaters, I know I'm going to be loading them up with lots of candy. So it's important that they're going to stay together. All right, so what I'm going to need to do is put the tear and tape on the I'm sorry, I'm going to the wrong ones. I'm going to put the tear and tape on the flaps that are farthest away from the fold over flap. Okay? Putting the tear and tape on the flaps that are farthest away from the fold over. Okay? Now the reason I'm doing that is because that's coming to the front and I want my front to look a little better finished. So let me show you how that's going to work. I'm going to take my tear and tape off. And this really folds together and comes together quite quickly. All right, now let's hold it in portrait. I'm going to put my little flaps inside and I'm going to bring up the front of my box. Okay, since this is now the front of my box, we want the back box flaps to go inside. Okay, so up, I'm going to fold those together and then I'm going to turn it to the side and these are going to go together pretty easily. Okay, and very nicely. You just want to make sure that your bottom is even and your side comes out to the end there. Okay, so we've got the pouch. All right, now before we're going to fold it over, we're going to carefully with our fingers just pinch down the sides, pushing in right at the middle, pinching down the side. Okay, and then there we go. We're going to fold over the top. How easy is that? Okay, so now we've got our pouch ready to fill. And you can see by looking in there, there's a good bit of room in there. You can put lots of stuff in there. All right, well, let's finish it off. How are we going to close it? Well, we're going to use this beautiful glitter organdy ribbon. It's black and it has like little bits of glitter throughout. It's really, really pretty. Perfect for Halloween. So I'm going to cut off a piece of that and get ready to use that. Let's see, I'm going to cut at one of the ends to be a little pointy so I can run it through. Actually, both of them. I can get it through the holes. All right, now, what holes, you may ask? Well, I'm going to take my 1/8 inch punch and I'm going to just eyeball it. Like here's about the middle, so I'm going to go maybe 1/4 of an inch to one side and 1/4 to the other. Okay, you can kind of see where my holes are. And now I'm going to string my ribbon through. And if you cut your ribbon that it has a little point on the end of it like that, it's much easier to push through the hole that way. And this is kind of stiff ribbon, so it's pretty easy to thread through. All right, let's do the big tie. I like to do a lovely bow. Sometimes not quite as successful when I'm on Facebook Live, but I'm going to try. Okay, let's see. What in the world does it look like here? All right, there we go. All right, let's pull that one down. Okay, and I think I'm going to cut this guy off over here. All right, so we've got our little pouch, and we have it tied shut, and now we're just ready to put our little embellishment on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those 2 strips of paper. I have a paper here that is 1 inch by 2 1/4, and this is 1 inch by 2 3/8, so it's a little bit longer. Okay, and the reason you want to do that, I mean, that's your choice if you want to, but when I laid them down on the front, my back banner was a little bit longer, and that's why so it sticks out a little bit in the back, but that's really your choice how you want that to go. All right, now let's do some stamping. Okay, we're gonna get one of my favorite stamps from the set is the little frog stamp, and we're gonna stamp him on the left-hand side of the white banner. All right, let's see. Okay, there he is. Isn't he so cute? I love him. All right, and then I'm going to take my sentiment, the bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, and I'm going to put that right beside him. You know, I'm going to start again and put my frog a little bit farther over on the left. I was getting a little too excited with my frog, and he jumped a little too far to the right. So let's try him again. All right, let's keep him a little farther to the left. There. Now stay there, you frog. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put our sentiment. I'm going to run it pretty close to our little frog. There it is. Okay. Then with the green, the granny apple green, I'm going to stamp these little bubbles, little stars. Oh, and what did I do? I did it with the black. Ugh. Okay, let's try that again, guys. Okay, it is Facebook Live after all. Okay. All right, hold on. Let's go back to my other side. Okay. Always happens when we're live. Okay, there we go. There's the little bubbles along the side there and the stars. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get out some of my favorite things from the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and these are the blends. Okay, we're going to color our frog using the blends. This is actually a new color of blends, and this is the Granny Apple Green, and these are available in the new catalog. The blends are alcohol markers, and they are lovely when you're trying to make images that you're trying to shade and blend colors together. What I really love about them is they come in pairs. This is the Granny Apple Green set. And there's a light granny apple green and a dark granny apple green. And they're just perfect. And that really helps make it easier to do the shading. Okay. On one end, you're going to have the bullet tip for small spaces. And then on the other end, you have more of a brush point for the larger spaces. So what I usually do when I'm coloring in things, I'll start with my lighter shade. And since this is such a small piece, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in the entire frog with the bullet point because it is a tiny little space to color in after all. Okay, well there he is, colored in with the light color. Okay, now I'm going to take my darker, my Granny Apple Green in the darker, bullet point again, and I'm going to go around where the little lines are, where I think there might be a little bit of shading. Okay, where Mr. Frog might have a little bit of shading, maybe under his mouth there, maybe here under his belly. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go back with my light and I'm going to blend them in. Okay, and what that does is it makes the difference between the lighter colors and the darker color much more muted. And you really get a nice shade with that. And I think that just looks so adorable. You can see that it's a little darker along the bottom, but you can see that the lighter color is still showing on the top. So I love the way that looks, and I love using the blends. I'm not an artist, but I'm really, really thrilled how the blends can make my images look when I color them in. You can see that little frog there, isn't he cute? All right, now before we add this banner to my box, I'm going to want to go ahead and cut my banner end on both of the pieces. Okay, and there's one. And then I'm going to cut a little banner end on this piece. And that's two. Okay, now I'm going to take my snail and I'm going to put a little snail on the Granny Apple Green piece. And then I'm going to kind of line up the white one there on the front. Then you have a little bit of a contrast. So when you put it on the white bag, you can see your white banner a little better. All right, last step. We're almost done already. We're going to add the banner to my fold-over bag using dimensionals. Okay, love these things, such great adhesive, but they give it a little bit of lift so that it stands out on your project. And there it is. How easy is that? How many of these can you make really quick and be ready for all those trick-or-treaters for Halloween? So that's it. That's the end of my project. Let me bring over the one that I have here. Let me show you what I have in this one to show you how much this will hold. Open up my glitter ribbon here, and I'll show you what I have in here. Let's see. Look at this. I've got Nerds. I've got 2 Sweet Tarts and 2 Laffy Taffies. All that can fit inside of this little fold over. Okay, you can make 2 of these out of every piece of designer series paper that's in the stack. So that gives you at least 24 bags that you can make, unless you get 2 or 3 packs of the designer series paper like I have. So it's a great, great way to put some treats in a special place for the trick-or-treaters, for your friends at work, or whoever might need a special treat at Halloween. So that's it for my Facebook Live this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just go to my blog. My blog is thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com. I will have all the dimensions there. I will have a PDF that you can download and have. And if you have any questions, please comment on my blog. I'll be glad to get back to you. Everything I used tonight, all the products I used, are from the my Stampin' Up! Online store. And you can go on my blog, and there's a link to my store. And if you use this hostess code, you can go on in and you can order the Toil and Trouble Suite. Let me show you that very quickly. Here is the stamp set. Right here, it's called Cauldron Bubble. And then here is the set of framelits that go with it. Okay, so this is the bundle. If you get them together, it's a 10% discount. And then you also don't want to forget to get the beautiful designer series paper and the ribbon, okay? The glimmer ribbon. All right, so thanks for joining me tonight on Facebook Live. Join me next Monday night for another Facebook Live where we will have a 3rd project for Trick or Treat and Halloween. So we'll look forward to seeing you then, and take care. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.